Hello, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Rebecca Dobson from Get Calmer, and I am a Well Woman yoga therapist, and today we're going to be concentrating on yoga for menopause, a short taster class, working with our core. So when we think about our core muscles, usually it's about our abdominal muscles, but in this short taster session, I'd like to work with the whole circumference of the core. So that means abdominal, side panels of the core, and also the lower back. So get comfortable, either sitting in a chair or sit on the floor. Have some props, ideally a blanket and maybe a block or a couple of cushions. And once you're in your comfortable seated position, just find your center of balance. So maybe making little circles with your body, going one way and then the other. And if you close your eyes, you can start to feel the weight through both sit bones, the base of your seat. And when you find that center, feel that lengthening from your navel up to the chest, up to the crown of the head. So creating this beautifully tall, long spine. And then I'll invite you to turn your palms up. And let's take a deep breath in together. Breathing in all the way to the very top of your chest. Opening the mouth, softening the jaw. Gentle, soft sigh out through the mouth. And let's do this 2 more times. Breathing in. Opening the mouth, soften the jaw, breathing out. Last time like this, breathing in. Opening the mouth, soft sigh out, breathing out. Feel your shoulders relaxing. I'd like you to take your hands to your lower belly. So hands can stack right on top of the navel. And just give it a little massage. You know, quite often we hold a lot of tension here by pulling that navel in. But we want to soften our belly to enable us to breathe effectively. And let's bring the hands right into the center. Feel the shoulder heads draw back to open out your chest. And let's work with some active breath. And with this breath, we're concentrating more on the exhale. And when we get to the base of our exhale, the navel pulls back, and I'd like you to just gently lift the pelvic floor. Okay, so let's do that together. So sit tall. When you're ready, breathing in. Breathing all the way out. And when you get to the end of the breath, feel the navel pull back and just gently lift the pelvic floor. Soften the jaw. Let's do that again. Inhale. Full breath in, breathing all the way out. Keep tall in the spine. Feel that navel pull back, working the abdominal muscles. Gently lift the pelvic floor when you get to the end of the breath. So inhale again, softening the belly. Exhale out fully. Keep the chest lifted, maybe sigh out through the mouth. Get to the end of the breath. Feel the navel pull back. Gently lift the pelvic floor. And then completely relax. How did you do? Could you feel that power? Maybe a little bit or a lot, depending on how you feel there. So let's continue that breath. But this time we'll apply pressure to the heels of your hands onto your thighs. So again, when you're ready, breathing in. And as you exhale, really push the heels of your hands into your thighs. Feel that navel draw back to the spine. Empty the breath, relax the jaw. Release the pressure in the hands. And you can have a resting breath in between or continue on. So breathing in when you're ready. Just firing up our abdominal core here. Exhale, push into the heels of hands. Feel the navel pull back towards the spine. Keep pushing, empty the breath. Soften the hands. complete breath in and out. Or let's do that one more time. So inhale when you're ready. Maybe exhale out through the mouth, you're not gritting those teeth. Press into the heels of hands, pull the navel back. Push, push, push. And completely release. Very good. Let's just stretch out now. So reaching the arms up. Bring the fingertips all together or interlock your hands and push the palms up towards the ceiling. Stretch, lengthen the torso, and then exhale and arms come all the way down. So when our hormones start to fluctuate, the ligaments that support the pelvis can get very soft. And this means that our abdominal center can get a little weak, which creates issues in the back, pelvic floor as well. So really good to do these exercises. So let's continue on. Let's start to just open out the sides of the waist. So you can mirror me. Take your right hand to the floor, or you can place it on a cushion. Take the other arm up above the head and just soften the elbow. Feel the chest drawing forwards. And there's just gentle stretches here. So don't go for that full, deepest stretch. We're just gently opening out the sides of the waist here. If you think about the intercostal muscles in between your ribs, start to gently stretch. And if you close your eyes, you can start to really concentrate on where you can feel that stretch. So the left fingertips are gently reaching that little bit further away. And if you can, keep that outer left hip drawing away from the body towards the floor. That's it. Good. Inhale, bring that arm up and left hand to the floor. And raise your right arm up. Soften the elbow. Press into that left hand and just do a little side bend. Just making sure that the opposite shoulder isn't crunching up to the ear. Just keep it away from the ear. And gentle pulses here. And noticing how this side feels. If you close the eyes, where do you feel that resistance, if at all? Now keep that breath really smooth. This is important. If you go into your deepest stretch, you're more likely to either stop your breath, which is never good, or you feel that slight constriction in your throat. So go gently. We've got to be kind to ourselves, haven't we? And just trust that these gentle movements are going to work much deeper than maybe just coming into that deepest pose straight away. And then reach that arm up, inhale, and take the hand down to the floor. So let's bring ourselves onto all fours now. Bring these together, come onto all fours. And you might need extra padding for your knees, so you can roll your blanket out if you need to. And then spread out your fingers. Have the wrists underneath your shoulders. So it's really important to have that biggest handprint, spreading the fingers nice and wide. And this helps to evenly distribute the upper body weight through the entire hand, not just the wrists and the heels of the hands. So tuck your toes under. And just, again, find your center from here. So shifting forwards and backwards. Maybe making little circles one way and then the other. Start to gently press into the inner knuckles of your hands, especially index finger knuckles and thumb. And then have those hips slightly behind the knees. And this just gives extra space for the lumbar spine. So from here, just very gentle cat-cow. So sink the belly down, feel the chest draw forward, look forward and inhale. And then exhale, push the ground away and round your back. Feel that navel hugging up to the spine. Again, inhale. Look forwards, exhale and round. One more like this, inhale. inhale and round. Feel that space in between the shoulder blades. Feel that navel pull up and come back to a flat back. Now, if your wrists get tired at any point, please come up onto fists with your wrists facing one another. This just takes the weight out of your wrists. Otherwise, keeping the fingers spread wide, keeping the toes tucked. We'll just work a little deeper on the abdominal core. So inhale here. And as you exhale, you can exhale out through the mouth. Feel the navel pull up to the spine. And I'd like you to push into your hands and feet and hover the knees just barely off your mat. And then when you come to inhale, place your knees back down. Do you feel that? I know I did. So let's do this a few more times. So inhale, back flat. Exhale, press into hands and feet. Pull that navel up, hover the knees. Jaw soft. Inhale, knees down. If you need to shake out the wrists in between, we'll do 2 more of these. So when you're ready, inhale. Pull the navel up to spine as you exhale. Hover the knees until you get to the end of your breath. You might be shaking a little bit. This is a good thing. It means that you're waking up your abdominal muscles. Last time. Inhaling, relax the shoulders. Exhale, navel to spine, hover those knees. And knees come back down to the floor. Bring your seat to your heels and take the hands wider than your shoulders. And just sway it out here. So we don't want to overstimulate our nervous system. With the menopause, it can be very delicate and easily stimulated. So we want to do some movement and then come back into some relaxation. So we're just pacifying our nervous system. Okay. So let's come onto our knees this time. Again, you can have your blanket under your knees. Working the side body. So come up onto the knees. And taking your left hand to the floor. And if you do have a block, place it alongside your thigh. And then take your hand on top of the block. And with that left leg, take it out nice and straight. Parallel the foot to face the edge of your mat. And then just encourage the hips forwards. Chest opens. And I'd like you to take your top hand to the top shoulder. And we're just making little circles here. Again, just very gently opening out the sides of the body. And just notice how your shoulder feels, where it feels as if it's clicking. Or again, any resistance, we're just lubricating that shoulder joint. Keep firmly pressing into the left hand and right leg. And then with that top elbow, it can start to evolve. That circle can get a little bigger. Really opening out the side of the waist until you feel comfortable enough to circle that arm nice and straight. Feel that stretch. So can you match the movement with your breath? Inhaling, circle the arm down and up. That's it. One more like this. Inhaling. And exhaling, and then bring both knees back to the center, swap the block to the other side. So right hand on top of block, left leg out, parallel that foot to the back of the mat. Encourage the hips, chest forwards. And again, taking that top hand to shoulder, and making little circles. And it's important to be gentle with our body at the beginning. Well, all the time, and really tuning into the body and its needs, because hormones can fluctuate all the time, and we might feel very different from one day to the next. So always take your practice to how you feel at this moment, and then allow that top arm to make bigger circles. Feel that stretch. feel it in my waist. And then if it's comfortable, you can start to reach out with that arm nice and straight. So inhale, rotate it forwards, up. Keeping that jaw nice and soft. And just notice the neck. Sometimes it will want to just drop, but keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. Good, one more, inhale. And exhale down. Good. So bring the knees together, come to sit on the heels just briefly. You can take your block or whatever you needed to one side. And we'll bring ourselves onto our stomachs. So I'd like you to get a blanket, place it in the center of your mat. So with Well Woman Yoga, transitions are really important to keep the pelvis in that neutral position so we're not overstretching the ligaments to create any instability in the pelvis. So to come down onto your stomach, sit on your side, and then use one arm, stretch it out, and this could be part of a pose where feels that nice stretch in the side waist. So coming all the way down, and then rolling onto your stomach. And get comfortable, take any extra padding underneath the pelvis, hips if you need to. And I'd like you to come onto the forearms with the elbows underneath the shoulders. So if you look down to your forearms, they're parallel. So fanning out the fingers, pressing into the palms. And it almost feels you're placing quite a bit of pressure into the elbows, and it feels as if you're dragging your elbows down towards the hips, but they're not moving. So press down, drag elbows to hips, and encourage that chest forwards. And you might feel a gentle or quite a big stretch in the abdominal muscles. Keep the neck nice and soft, and even take your head from side to side. Again, very slow movements. Breath is nice and easy. Teeth slightly parted. And then from here, just very slowly lowering your forehead to the floor. I'm going to keep my head lifted so you can hear me, but you can make a pillow to rest your forehead for the moment. And we're going to lengthen out the legs, starting with the right leg. So lifting up right leg, point the toes, and then take that leg back to the floor. Doing the same, lengthen, lift left leg, point the toes, and take it to the floor. So usually in back bends are very good for strengthening the lower back, but also opening out the chest and lengthening the torso. But quite often when we lift our head and chest, our buttock muscles, our glutes can over contract. So think about necessarily cracking a walnut. We want to switch the glutes on enough, but not too much to create tension in the lumbar spine. So be really mindful of that when you work with back bends. Okay, so we're coming into locust pose. So place the forehead on your mat. Take the arms beside you. Little fingers next to the thighs, thumbs facing out, so you're pressing the palms on the floor. Start to press into the toenails and really activate the legs, so much so that the kneecaps are coming off the floor, but the toenails, feet are on the floor. Now just notice your glutes. Let's just work the glutes a little bit. So start to squeeze the glutes. We're not coming up, I just want you to squeeze them. Inhale, crack that walnut. And exhale and soften. Just the right glute now. Squeeze it and release it. Doing left, squeeze left buttock and release it. And then again, both together, squeeze and relax. So we want something in between, where in between, fully contracted and completely relaxed. All right? So forehead to the floor. Keeping feet and hands on the floor for now. You're going to start to lengthen the spine, lift the head, possibly the chest, off the floor. Feel the lower back muscles contract more than the glutes. Relax the jaw, maybe shake it out. And then bring forehead to the floor. Another one like this. Inhale, lengthen through to the spine, press into the toenails and palms, lift. And exhale, come down. Remember, if you feel any pain, please just stop what you're doing. Just relax. Otherwise, we're going to start to incorporate the arms. So lifting up head, chest, arms. Press into the toenails, lift. And exhale to come down. Remember, you don't have to come too high. Just listen to the body. Inhale again, head, chest, arms. And coming down. So if it's comfortable, we'll start to incorporate the legs as well. So just sway the hips from side to side. Come into the center when you're ready. On your inhale, come up, inhale, arms, head, chest, legs. Lift up the shoulder heads, maybe squeeze the shoulder blades. And exhale to come down. Let's do that one more. Inhale, lift. Stretch the fingertips, reach the toe tips back, and exhale and come down. And this is where you can make a pillow with your hands and rest one cheek on your hands. Maybe sway the hips, just releasing the back. Take a breath, sigh it out. Let's not favor one side of the neck. Let's turn the head to the other side. Take another deep breath here, breathing in. And sigh it out through the mouth. Bring the forehead to the hands and then slide the hands beside your chest. Tuck your toes. Inhale, come up to all fours. And then let's just open out the back a little bit. So again, find your center on all fours. And then just make little circles with the hips, the tailbone, just little circles here. Maybe rolling your jaw at the same time. And maybe getting bigger circles until you feel that lovely stretch in the lower back. And then come back to the center, going the other way, so tiny, tiny little circles. And usually when we work very small, the breath tends to stop because we're concentrating, so be mindful of that. And then make the circles a little bit bigger. Feel that lovely stretch in the lower back. Good. And then come back to the center. And then we'll bring ourselves back to where we began, into seated. So maybe roll up your blanket or get some cushions to sit on, or come back onto your chair. So taking your hands, palms up. Again, find your center of balance through your seat. Close the eyes. Feel that tailbone drop, pelvis in the neutral position. Inhale, get really tall. And sigh everything out through the mouth. Chest lifted. And just take your hands, stack them once again on connecting to your belly. And just feel that center of power, connecting to your inner strength, your confidence, your stability and focus. Take a breath in here, feel the belly expanding. Gently sigh out through the mouth. Blink the eyes open. Take your arms down by your sides. Let's stretch out. Inhale, take the arms up above the head. Bring the palms together. And then pull the palms down towards your heart. And bow your head in deep gratitude to your changing body that you respect every single day. Lift your gaze, lift a smile. Thank you so much for joining me If you enjoyed this short taster video, please like, subscribe, or make a comment, or join me live on Zoom at getcalmer.com. This is Rebecca Dobson at Get Calmer. Om Shanti.